I begin, as always, in the matchless name of Jesus. This video is going to be doing my review of The Flash Season 1, Episode 10, Revenge of the Rogues. Okay, so this video, this episode opens up with the Flash practicing to get faster after his fight with the Reverse Flash, just so that way he can train himself to fight, so that way when he faces the Reverse Flash again, he can beat him. So they're fighting some. Cisco probably created some sort of device which fires missiles at him, and it is firing lasers at him as well as he's running as fast as he possibly can. Then he gets to a point where they send a rocket at him. Flash flies it back at the device, and it explodes. It was really cool. So, and then Cisco says something to the effect of we got to get you ready to face the Reverse Flash again. So, and then Caitlin's like, meh, and then Wells is like, I think I really like it. I like it. So it's kind of like, it just feels like now that we know he's a Flash, possibly that he's probably agreeing that's a pretty cool name. So meanwhile, Iris is preparing to move out of the house, and while that's happening, preparing to move out of the house and things like that, and it's like Iris is trying to distance herself from Barry after his confession in the previous episode. Meanwhile, Captain Cold breaks into like some sort of garage or place where there are other cars with his friend McRory, aka Heatwave, and they plan on trying to steal a painting from them, stealing a painting that was from France, as well as killing the Flash. So I was so glad to see him. So it's what also, and then they go out of there. So they plan on, after doing that, they decide to go take their car and leave. After that, and then in the meantime, Caitlin is trying to research some info on Firestorm. She finds out it's an initials, and then she's going out to find out its initials, and decides to meet somebody from the organization known as Firestorm, I think. And then also, meanwhile, also, they are introduced to, Cisco tells the police force that there is that they have created cold guns shields that will withstand the cold that Captain Cold would throw at them from the heart, probably throw at them. And then, by the way, Barry Allen decides he doesn't really want to go out and help out in this fight against Captain Cold, whom they realize is back after the little find out their break-in. He just feels like he wants to dedicate himself to getting faster so to face the Reverse Flash, just citing the fact that he threatened Iris as a proof of it. So, and then anyway, and so again, Cisco just introduces to the police the shields that will withstand the heat of 0 degrees at the least, and then they go off to prepare themselves. So they go off with that. So, anyways, the people are there to transport the painting over to the museum, and then Captain Cold and Heatwave are out to just ambush them, and they successfully attack. Because apparently they did not expect to see McRory there with a flamethrower as well. So they attack, they get the painting, and they go off. So, and then Captain Cold says they have a heat wave, a fire. And then they decide Captain Cold says that they need to go after the Flash, so they fire it up. They decide to burn up the painting. Heatwave does, and then meanwhile, Caitlin is visiting with Captain, I mean, Caitlin is visiting with somebody from the Firestorm organization or something like that, and then they get some few answers. She leaves, and then they go off. She leaves, and then her car is set on ice, and then she is abducted by Captain Cold and his friend Heatwave. So they go off then a little bit later, Captain Cold and Heatwave just make a video saying that they want the Flash to face them sundown at dawn, or else Caitlin will die. So they also tell them that the Heatwave. Then meanwhile, Cisco tells them that the Heatwave will. Mick tells them that the flamethrower and the ice cold gun can be destroyed if they cross each other. So, by the way, before that, Barry and Harrison Wells had a little chit chat, and it was Harrison Wells seemed pretty creepy during that time. It's like, I kind of think the powers that be need to dial this down. Like, I think we get the fact that we know he's the Reverse Flash, so, or maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just now that we know, we should expect a little bit more of this. So, anyways, so we should just so they meet up with Captain Cold, Flash meets Captain Cold and Heatwave at the streets, and then they go out to fight, and then the battle begins. The fight begins. It was a very amazing fight scene. At first, Flash was getting his butt kicked a little bit, and then Harrison Wells suggested that he run a little slower, and then he speeds up as he goes, and then meanwhile, Flash takes a bit of a beating in the process, and then they cross out their guns, meet each other, and then they are knocked away. By the way, I need to say that Eddie Thawne saved him. Eddie Thawne, the guy who organized the task force, is the one who saves the Flash. And meanwhile, after the defeat, they are taken in, and it's odd that Captain Cold is taking this pretty well. So, in the meantime, they are taking. Meanwhile, they're taken to the police station, and then Captain Cold is still very, 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 very cool, very chill about this. So, and as Heatwave is just ballistic that they lost. So, at the end there's a bit of Barry and Iris just talk to each other, and then Barry basically says he wants them to be happy and that he sees a very great future in their sights. So, and then Barry and Joe West, Iris's dad, just drink beer together at the end. So, anyways, the singer after the scene after the title sequence, or aka the singer, was excellent. Basically Heatwave's like, our plan's not going well. We're going to prison. And then all of a sudden, the car carrying both of them is turned upside down. There's an accident, and then outside the doors open, and then Caitlin, and then Captain Cold is like, "Hello, sis." Like, wow, that makes me so excited. So excited. For those of you who don't know, Captain Cold, aka Leonard Snart, has a sister named Lisa Snart, who in the comic books is known as the Golden Glider, and she is part of the Rogues. So I was like, oh my gosh, we have the Rogues. We have Lisa Snart here at last. Her joining the Rogues. That's so awesome. So that was very good stuff. Anyways, excellent episode. I'll have to give this thing a 9.3 out of 10. It is so good to have The Flash back on TV. It is also very good to know that it got renewed for a second season. I can't wait to see what it brings. Again, I give this thing a 9.3 out of 10. 9.3 out of 10. That's all for this video.